Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome to M.Pd podcast with me today, beneficial, bold, and brilliant. So today with me Julian, and this is the second episode of our podcast today. And in episode, we will talk with an inspiring figure, Mr. Mulyadi Syahputra, M.Pd. He is an alumni and a lecturer at University of Bina Bangsa Sempena Banda Aceh. Apart from teaching at UBBG, he is also actively involved as one of the fasilitator of sekolah penggerak. It is the program launched by the Ministry of Education, Culture, Research, and Technology of Republic Indonesia. And his task as a facilitator of sekolah penggerak is to assist teacher, committees, principals, and supervisor to establish good school government. Okay, welcome to Mr. Mulyadi Syahputra.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining our podcast today. And then get the listener who want to give a question to us, you can give a question by send them to our email at getsempenapodcast@gmail.com, and you can also hit our Instagram at getsempena.podcast. Okay, sir, Mulyadi. And so, can you tell us a little about what it's mean by sekolah penggerak and how did you become one of the facilitator in that program?
All right, thank you. The questions of what is actually sekolah penggerak is quite interesting to talk, right? Because it's something new and we never heard it before, right? So the terms of sekolah penggerak basically is the terms that used by the government as a programs to support or to what we call it, like to supervise and also assist several schools that is selected by government, by Kemdikbud here in this case. And all this kind of school or the school that are selected as sekolah penggerak will be assisted within 3 years to habituate or to transform all the school environments within their academic performance or within their school environments, and also the good what we call it, like management inside of the school. So it's actually the terms that is given by Kemdikbud to make the school having such an ability to reform themselves, to make them school even better, right? So that is actually sekolah penggerak.
Alright, so mostly sekolah penggerak is one of the government program, also to make school that have been selected by the government. It's to develop their school, right?
Right. So it's quite interesting, Julian, because it is quite different with what happened in any other organizations. Because school, the output of the school is generation, right? Individual.
Yeah.
So we cannot generalize all the good management system within one school to another school. So that is why Kemdikbud try to make this kind of school or this several school to be able to develop their own system, their own management in taking care of all the kind of all kind of things inside the school itself. So that's why actually the term of sekolah penggerak exists, because we cannot like just give them the system, you need to follow the system. No, that's quite irrelevant, because they have different student, different area, and also different human resources quality, right? So that's why the sekolah penggerak exists.
So it is interesting, and it's sekolah penggerak related to the curriculum Merdeka.
Of course, one of the purpose of sekolah penggerak is actually helping the school to establish or even develop or even apply curriculum Merdeka term by term. So basically, the durations of this of sekolah penggerak itself is 3 years, right? So within the 3 years, we have such an opportunity to actually build our school's quality in terms of SDM, for example, or human resources, and also the curriculum within the curriculum, and also the students. So curriculum is also one of the purpose or one of the aims of sekolah penggerak.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mulyadi. And then the second question, what are the roles and duty of sekolah penggerak facilitator?
Alright, my duties or my responsibility within sekolah penggerak is actually helping all this kind of school under my assistant to to habituate all the good practice from other school. Like for example, if one school having one difficulty in applying all those kind of management, for example, inside of that school, then my presence will be there to show them guidance. Like it's pretty much like coaching.
Alright.
Instead of telling them what to do, my presence show them or dig more on what to do, on how to do it, for example. So it's based on the or what we call it, like giving them an opportunity, or even the way, or making or having a coaching sessions to help them to find the way to their obstacles, because each school have a different obstacle.
Yeah.
Each school have a different, what do we call it, like challenges in applying all the curriculum Merdeka, if we can say that in this case, the implementation of curriculum Merdeka have a different obstacles. Each school have a different obstacles, different problems. So my presence is not a source of information. My presence will be like the one that show you the way on how to solve it, for example. So I think that is the role of me in being the facilitator in sekolah penggerak.
Okay, so the facilitator of sekolah penggerak is as a guidance of the school that been selected by the government. Okay, and then as the facilitator of sekolah penggerak, what are the target that you want to achieve in the school you work with?
Actually, there are 5 interventions that are assigned to us to help the school with. First, it's about how they can develop their management quality.
Okay.
And then second, it's also about the implementation of the curriculum, and also ensuring that the school will have the elevation or improvement within the students' academic performance, for example, and also digitalization inside of the school itself. So, if we talk about target, I think in sekolah penggerak we don't have a specific target to reach, because our presence in sekolah penggerak itself is basically trying to build an atmosphere of a good governance system inside of the school, like asking them to share their best practice, for example, having a reflection inside the school, for example. So this is one of the target, having an improvement within the one school. For example, if this school started from, for example, let's talk about bullying, right? If this school bullying is being habituated, for example, there are a lot of bullying happen in that school, for example. So the existence of sekolah penggerak, the target of sekolah penggerak itself is to reduce this kind of phenomenon. We are not making a target to decrease the action of bullying as a whole, for example. But as long as there is an improvement of the decrease of this bullying, for example, happen in one school, so the sekolah penggerak have been decided success. If there is an improvement, as long as there is an improvement, then sekolah penggerak is success.
So there are not specific target in sekolah penggerak.
No, because Julian, the problem with the target or any target is if we have a target, then we need to start from the same start line, right?
Yeah.
So the problem with school is school have a different identity. Some school, their student is very hard to manage. Some school, their student having a good literacy, for example.
Yeah.
So we cannot just make one finish line for all that kind of school, because each of the schools start from different start line.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a fair competition
Yeah.
if we start from a different start line and then we need to actually catch or to achieve one target line. I think that is why curriculum penggerak and also sekolah penggerak did not give you a specific target to catch.
So yeah, I agree with you because every school is unique,
Unique,
and
right.
have what we say like the lack and also the advantage of the school. And then the next question is, as we know, in sekolah penggerak there is an implementation of Merdeka curriculum or independent curriculum. So what is the difference between the independent curriculum and the previous one?
Right, this is a quite interesting question because this is asked from by many teachers out there.
Yeah.
I think before stepping on to that answer, probably I need to clarify a few things. First, probably everyone here are familiar with this term, like ganti menteri ganti curriculum. Right? So we think that we are a bit skeptical on it because we see that this curriculum as a project of the government, because government trying to allocate a certain money. They don't know where to allocate, for example. That's why a new curriculum exists, for example, right? But I don't think that is acceptable within this context, because as we see in the previous curriculum in 2013, it has been launched, or it's launched actually in 2013, right? And then we have passed so many ministers already.
Yeah.
We have passed Anies Baswedan, Pak Muhajir, for example, and also this right now Pak Nadiem Makarim. And we have passed these three ministers, but this year, or Pak Nadiem Makarim term, the new curriculum appeared, right? Curriculum Merdeka. And that is the first reasons why it tackled all the stigma outside that saying ganti menteri ganti curriculum, because that's not relevant anymore. That's the first one. The second one, I think that the change or the appeal or the revisions of the curriculum is a must. Why? Because we have passed, gratefully we have passed these 2 years, the sadness era where we are in a COVID outbreak, right? The COVID outbreak conditions probably becoming a shock therapy for all the teachers and students, right?
Yeah.
The teacher need to be able to master all the technology inside of their computer, even though that they never do that kind of thing before. And also for the students, even though they don't have a technology or even they don't have a connection, for example, they need to go to a certain point to find an internet connection.
Yeah.
This is one of the challenges for these students. And also, this kind of phenomenon actually transform all the behavior of the students and teachers. Our teachers right now is quite familiar with the technology, Zoom, and also many devices. And also our student is also quite addicted to the smartphone.
Yeah.
If we talk about the student back then, if we want to know a certain point, we need to wait for our teachers to tell us what is it about. But right now, it's just a matter of tipping point. When you search Google, then the answer is over there. I don't think that the function of the teacher is relevant as the source of information, because Google knows better than you as a teacher, right? So that's why I think that the curriculum need to be to be revised, because we need to adjust with all the era and technology. Even right now, our students spend more time with their gadget instead of discussion, collaboration with others. Even the way of how we play, right? We play individually. Back then, the children back then, they have collaboration in many aspects. When they play with their friends.
Yeah.
They have a collaboration, right?
Yeah.
But right now, we don't do that too much because we play by themselves. They play by themselves in the room, for example. So the sense, that is why I think that the sense of this the curriculum right now is also focusing on the collaborations, on how the students can collaborate. We call it gotong royong.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is why I think that the curriculum Merdeka need to be appear right now. That is the first one. Second one, what is the different from the previous curriculum in 2013, right? There are multiple differences. But the focus is back then we are targeting as the education in Indonesia. We are targeting the what we call it like target pendidikan Indonesia. We have that, right? And also we are focusing on 4 competencies like KI1, KI2, KI3, and KI4, right? But right now we don't have that kind of thing anymore. We are focusing on basically one principle that we call profil pelajar Pancasila. We have 6 elements though. Alright, we have 6 elements. Profil pelajar Pancasila. We have collaboration, critical thinking, beriman dan bertakwa, for example, and creativity, kemandirian. We have all those kind of things become the target of the education. Besides, we also need to reach the goal of national target, right? So that's why in intracurricular, we call it intracurricular. The way of how we teach in the classroom, it's still the same. There are some reform in many aspects, but there is something new in this curriculum. We have P5, Project Penguatan Profil Pelajar Pancasila, which intervenes students to have a collaboration, critical thinking, awareness to the environment. So this is what's new in this curriculum, and I think that we should not be skeptical on this, right?
Yeah.
Because we are screaming a lot about the quality of education in Indonesia. Our education is bad. The education outside is good, for example, and we are too long left out. For example, we are screaming a lot, and we are critic a lot about the term of our educations. But when there is an evolution, when there is a reformation, where there's something new come out, we also what do you call it? Being skeptical on it. So, in one side, we want to be better. In other side, we don't want to change because we are in comfort zone, for example. So I don't think that is something that we need to reject because we want our education to be better, and it is quite ironic if we are skeptical on every reformations that we try to make. So,
Okay, very good answer by Mr. Mulyadi. And then, as a facilitator, there are any obstacle in implementing the independence curriculum?
Of course, Julian, because the problem is this curriculum or this sekolah penggerak comes from the government of Indonesia, of Kemdikbud, right? But at the same time, there is also a local government regulation. Like senior high school, it is under the government, under the local government in province, for example. If it is junior high school, elementary school, it is under the government of the very local government, like in kabupaten kota. So, as a facilitator, we are the representations of Kemdikbud actually to help the implementations of this curriculum and also sekolah penggerak relevant with all the policy created by the local government. we are not saying that local government regulation is bad. No, we are not telling that, because anyone have a different idea on what to make this education better, right?
Yeah.
So the challenges or the obstacles comes because we need to ensure that these all stakeholders inside of these reformations, we say reformation, as this inside of these reformations should be in line with the purpose of each local government. So that is actually one of the challenges. And then the second one, the challenges, the second challenge is we are actually assisting several schools. I myself are assigned to 6 schools, 2 schools in Banda Aceh, 2 schools in Bener Meriah, and 2 schools in Selangsa. So the challenges as a facilitator is each of the schools within our reach have a different uniqueness.
Yeah.
Have a different what we call it, like a start point, and also each have a different need. So as a facilitator, we need to accommodate all those different needs, making it sure that everyone will have the appropriate treatment for each problem. Some school, for example, we see in one of my schools, one is my school under my assistant, they have a very low quality of their students. I mean, like the students are very minimum. They don't have a qualified, what we call it. They don't have even the appropriate number of the teachers. So that's why it's hard making it sure their education system or their system within their school improve that well, while their human resources is not even enough.
Yeah.
So that is also one of the challenges. While in other school, they have too much teacher already, and this teacher even do not know what class to teach, because some teachers have we have too much teacher already. So that is also the problem. So in one school, the problem is the limited number of the teacher. In other school, there are too many teachers. So that is why they have a different problem. And as a facilitator, we need to ensure that all the school under my assistant have a proper solution to their problems. That is the challenge.
Alright, that's very interesting. Yeah, Getsi listener, that's very interesting and motivational talk with Mr. Mulyadi Syahputra as facilitator of Sekolah Penggerak. And then there are many new knowledge we have today about the Sekolah Penggerak. And now we move into our Q&A session. There is one question by Mulyadi Syahputra from SMP Negeri 1 Montasi Aceh Besar. So, Mrs. Mulyadi Syahputra asked about what are the advantage of teacher who join Guru Penggerak, and how long is driving of the Guru Penggerak certificate is valid?
Okay. So basically, we have a different program here. Sekolah Penggerak is ensuring that all the management inside of the school run as it must. And then Guru Penggerak is the way of how the government try to elevate the quality of the teachers.
Yeah.
So it is a different terminology and different program. But I know a bit about Guru Penggerak. Guru Penggerak is actually one of the way to ensure the quality of the teachers. I mean, if you are signing or if you are registering to be one of Guru Penggerak, I think there are a lot of advantage that we can take. We are going to be assisted by the facilitator. We are also going to be trained by the expert. Okay. So I think this is one of the way to improve our quality, and that's why Guru Penggerak I think is very beneficial for the teachers. And if the question is how long that this certificate will valid to use, this certificate will be used valid for uh, lifetime, I guess, because there is no such. It is not like a certificate that we use and then after that we forgot everything that we see. For example, like TOEFL.
Yeah.
If we have a TOEFL, that it has a time for validation, right? It's valid for 2 years because in the third years or in the fourth years, probably our capability will reduce and decrease just because we are having or we do not have a proper practice, for example.
Yeah.
But sekolah penggerak is basically like you are going to the college and then you are studying in that college, for example, and then when you are graduated, it is just as a document that you are valid, that you pass some several competencies, for example. So that's why it will valid for a lifetime. And there is no such a duration that you need to, for example, what we call it, revise or you need to renew the certificate. No, I think it's valid for a lifetime. Because we are not talking about the certificate here. We are talking about the competencies for you as a teacher that you get for following this Guru Penggerak. So that's why when you have the competencies, then certificate is just a proof that you pass the train of sekolah penggerak or guru penggerak, sorry. Then your competencies will forever with you, right?
Yeah.
So that's why the certificate will valid for a lifetime.
Yeah, it's same like we call it PPT.
Yes, it's exactly the same like PPT.
Okay. So the question from Mulyadi Syahputra, it's end our conversation for today, and thank you so much, Mr. Mulyadi.
You're welcome.
For your time today to sharing with us, and hopefully our conversation can inspire you guys at home today. And then to all GetC listener, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment our podcast at GetSempena Podcast. And then also thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you again soon at the next podcast. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.